Okay, so let's get right into it. You've seen it everywhere, right? On social media, in the news, you hear celebrities talking about it. This whole weight loss drug phenomenon, with names like Ozempic leading the charge, has completely taken over. It promises this revolutionary way to lose weight. But, just beneath the surface of this massive trend, there's a much darker and frankly more dangerous story unfolding.
And you can totally see the appeal. I mean, when someone like Oprah Winfrey says her experience with a weight loss drug feels like relief, like redemption, like a gift, that really hits home. It captures that intense hope people have. For so many, it's not just about the numbers on a scale. It's about finally finding a solution to a struggle they may have faced their entire lives. And that emotional connection, that's what makes these drugs and the hype around them so incredibly powerful.
But here's the catch. That gift comes with a serious price tag. We're talking nearly $1,000 for a 1-month supply here in the US. And a lot of the time, insurance won't even touch it for weight loss. So you have this huge cost barrier, and that creates this desperation for a cheaper way in. And that desperation, well, that's where the trouble really begins.
I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. We've all had them pop up in our feeds, right? These ads for miracle gummies or patches or pills that promise the exact same amazing results for just a fraction of the cost. And they look so convincing. But what are you really buying when you click that link? That's exactly what we're going to unpack.
Okay, so first things first. To really understand the scams, you have to understand what makes the real drug so revolutionary in the first place. Because this isn't just another diet pill from the 90s. No, this is a totally different class of medication that has completely changed the game for how we treat obesity.
The drugs at the heart of all this are called GLP-1 agonists. The actual medication in Ozempic, for example, is called semaglutide. So here's how it works in simple terms. These drugs basically mimic a hormone your body already makes. This hormone is what tells your brain, hey, you're full. It also slows down how quickly your stomach empties, which keeps you feeling full longer. The result? You just feel less hungry, and you eat less, but without that constant, miserable feeling of starvation you get with a traditional diet.
And get this, the origin story for this stuff is, well, it's pretty wild. Believe it or not, the science that led to these incredible drugs actually started with a compound found in the venom of a Gila monster. Yeah, back in the 90s, scientists figured out this compound could suppress hunger for a really long time. It's just a fascinating little fact that shows you how unique this medical breakthrough really is.
So you've got a legit, super effective, but very expensive drug on the market. What happens next? An entire industry of fakes and so-called alternatives just explodes online. And this, my friends, is where things get genuinely dangerous. Let's take a look at what's really being sold as budget Ozempic. And this right here just lays the whole scam bare. It's kind of shocking. On the left, you've got the real deal, a complex medication that works with your body's own hormones. And on the right, you have what TikTok trends are calling budget Ozempic. And what is it? Often, it's nothing more than cheap, over-the-counter laxatives and stool softeners. Scammers are literally just slapping a new label on an old product to cash in on the buzz. So let's be crystal clear about this. This isn't just ineffective, it is incredibly harmful. Abusing laxatives does not cause fat loss. All it does is cause temporary water loss. Any weight that you see drop on the scale comes at a huge cost. Severe dehydration, dangerous electrolyte imbalances that can mess with your heart, and long-term gut problems. It's a really dangerous path that can even trigger or worsen eating disorders.
Now, let's talk about the other big one you've probably seen everywhere online, berberine. It's been nicknamed nature's Ozempic. Now, the key thing to know here is that this is a dietary supplement, which means it is not regulated by the FDA in the same way a prescription drug is. And while there are some small studies that hint at some possible benefits, there's very little hard scientific evidence to back up the claim that it's a safe or effective tool for major weight loss. The bottom line is, you often have no idea what you're really taking, how much of it is in there, or if it even works at all. These fake products are just one piece of a much larger puzzle. They're all propped up by a massive, multi-billion-dollar industry that is built on pure deception. These scammers are absolute masters of illusion, and they know exactly how to prey on our hopes and our insecurities.
Their number one weapon? The before and after photo. But it is all a trick. Let's pull back the curtain on how it's done. It has nothing to do with the product. It's all about manipulation. Just a simple change in posture, from slumped over to standing up straight and confident, or switching from harsh overhead lighting to professional, flattering light, or even just swapping out baggy clothes for something that fits well. Any of those things can create a dramatic transformation that is completely fake, and that's before they even start digitally altering the photos.
Scammers also just flat out steal the credibility of people we trust. They'll grab images of celebrities, like Oprah, and just slap them onto their products. Oprah herself has had to come out again and again to say she has nothing to do with any of these gummies or pills. And now it's getting even scarier, because scammers are using AI to create super convincing deepfake videos of celebrities promoting this stuff, making the lies harder than ever to spot.
And it doesn't stop with celebrities. Oh no. They'll illegally use logos from huge, trusted brands and TV shows like Shark Tank. They'll make up these elaborate stories about how all the sharks invested millions to make their bogus products seem like this can't-miss opportunity. It is all a carefully built lie, designed for one thing, to get your trust and then get your money.
So all this deceptive marketing, it's funneling people into a vast and really dangerous online black market. We're not just talking about ineffective supplements anymore. We're talking about a space where illegal and counterfeit prescription drugs are sold to basically anyone with a credit card.
The World Health Organization actually has a term for this whole mess, an infodemic, and it's the perfect word. It's like a tsunami of information. Some of it's accurate, sure, but most of it is misleading or just plain false, and it spreads online at lightning speed. This infodemic drowns out the real facts from actual doctors and health authorities, and it just causes confusion and pushes people to take incredible risks with their health.
And this number is just staggering. The National Association of Boards of Pharmacy estimates that out of 35,000 active online pharmacies, 95% of them are operating unlawfully. Let that sink in. That means no prescription needed, no oversight, and absolutely zero protection for you. It really is the Wild West of medicine out there.
This quote from someone who is thinking about buying an untested drug online, it just says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the level of desperation this infodemic creates. People are so hopeful for a solution that they are literally willing to gamble with their own lives, buying mystery substances from who knows where with no idea what's actually in them.
And here's the real-world fallout. This isn't a theoretical danger. Since 2019, poison control centers in the U.S. have seen a nearly 1,500% increase in calls related to these drugs. That's not a typo. And this includes everything from people having severe side effects from legit prescriptions to overdoses and bad reactions from counterfeit versions that they bought online. The harm is real, and it is growing fast.
Okay, so with all of this deception and misinformation floating around, how in the world do you protect yourself? Let's shift gears now from exposing the problem to empowering you with the solution, because there are very clear red flags you can learn to look for.
Think of this as your personal toolkit for avoiding fraud. Number 1, if it sounds way too good to be true, it is. Period. 2, if you see a celebrity endorsement, go check their actual official social media channels to see if it's real. 3, if a product is shading about what's actually in it, that's a huge red flag. 4, be super wary of those free trial offers. They're almost always a trap to lock you into an expensive subscription. 5, and this is a big one. Remember, the real FDA-approved drugs are injections. If you see a gummy, a patch, or a pill, it is not the real deal. And finally, number 6, and this is the most important one of all. Your health journey should always start with a conversation with a doctor or a trusted healthcare professional, not with a random ad you saw on the internet.
And that really brings us to the final and most crucial question. In this search for a solution, it's so easy to be tempted by the promise of a quick, easy fix. But as we've seen, that so-called shortcut often leads you right through a minefield of health risks, financial scams, and dangerous lies. The ultimate price you might end up paying is far, far greater than the cost of a pill. It's something to really think about.